Good morning and welcome back to the 6 a.m. Cloud where we start our day inspired. It's a new week, and that means we have a new quote. And this week's quote says, "Once you've accepted your flaws, no one can use them against you." Let me repeat that one more time. This is a very interesting quote. Once you've accepted your flaws, no one can use them against you. When I read it, I had to read it twice. I'm like, "Wait a second. What does this mean?" And as I read it a couple of times, it started to sink. And like any other quote, it's so true, right? It is so true. The reason why when someone points out our flaws, we get upset, it takes us out of our being and we feel attacked. We take it personal. I don't know. When we were talking about feedback the other day, when someone gives us feedback and we get upset by the feedback, even if we don't demonstrate that to the other person, but inside we're so upset and we're taking it personal and we're thinking of all the reasons why we need to justify ourselves and all the reasons why what they're saying is not right, or we're making up excuses as to why we behave the way we did, and we have a justification and we try to find that justification, is because we haven't yet accepted that those are our flaws. But I'll tell you that after years of work on self awareness, I know today a lot of my weaknesses. I am very aware of what those are. And when someone tells me or gives me feedback around one of those weaknesses that I am aware of and now I have accepted, and accepting doesn't mean that you stop working on improving them. It means that you are aware that they exist, right? And you know that that's part of who you are. That doesn't mean you can change that, right? It doesn't mean that you don't work on improving those things, but just that you are aware and that sometimes you can come across a certain way or make mistakes in a certain thing, whatever that is. I'll tell you that when people now give me feedback around things that I am now aware and I have accepted, even if I'm still working on them, it doesn't upset me. I don't feel as upset as I would feel when they share feedback around things that I don't agree with, right? Is the disagreement, is the lack of awareness that makes us feel upset when someone shares that feedback, and we feel attacked when someone gives us feedback, even though the other person might have the best intentions in mind when they're sharing that feedback. They're trying to help us to see those blind spots that we can't see so we can improve and be better. Of course, there's always the person that does it with all the intention to upset you. Yes, there are people like that. But those are the exception, I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm just an optimist. The point is, the times when someone points out a flaw in you, the only time that you're going to feel attacked is when you haven't yet accept that flaw on yourself. That's why working on self-awareness is so important, because that way you can have that peace of mind. You don't have to get upset every time. You don't have to get everything personal every time. And as you are aware, you can start to work on your flaws so you can improve. So, here is my reflection for you today and my invitation for you to think about, what are your flaws? What are, think about in the last few months, when has there been times that people have pointed out something in you that made you feel upset, attacked, like it was personal? And start to think about, is there any validity in those things that they said? That can help you start to develop self awareness around your flaws. And once you have that self awareness, then you can accept them. And accepting your flaws will set you free from feeling all the time upset and attacked by others. And most importantly, now that you are aware and you have accepted your flaws, now you can work on them so you can continue to grow and improve and become that better version of yourself. Okay, that was our quote for today. I hope that you have an amazing day ahead. I will see you here again Monday for another episode of the Leading Yourself podcast.